Let's do a Python beginner project, the game Hangman in the terminal. Per usual, we will follow good coding conventions with type hints and organization. I will skip using docstrings this time to save space and time for this TikTok video, but I still recommend you do it for your own. We will start by importing the OS module. We'll use this to clear the terminal each loop of the game. It'll make more sense while you actually run the game. Next, we will create the Hangman class and set up the structure. If you're creating this on your own, it will come more organically and while you write it. I'll explain each function in more detail when we actually get to writing the function. The functions with 2 underscores in front will be internal use only to the class, not for use outside the class. We'll also have some properties, as you can see. These just act as variables for the class but are calculated on the call of the variable. For the initialization function, we take in a word as a parameter for the player to guess. We check if the word is valid, and if not, we ask the user to put in a new word until it is valid. Alright, let's set up the variables, taking advantage of sets instead of lists where possible. Now that we have the variables, let's set up our class properties. Remaining guesses will just be the max allowed wrong guesses minus the amount of wrong guesses made. Guessed word, there's a typo in this video as you can see there, will be what is shown when the user is guessing the word. Any letters that have been guessed are shown, and those not yet guessed will be underscores. Moving on to the run function, we will set an infinite loop that is only broken on a win or loss, which is checked at the end of each loop. We will display the current state of the game to the user, then prompt the user for a guess. Once a valid guess is given, we compare it to the word to be guessed and adjust the game state variables as needed. The setWord function is simple. Take in a word as a parameter and set an internal word variable to it. Then update the word set to include all unique letters of that word. To check for a loss, we will use a function that returns true if a number of wrong guesses are greater than or equal to the max allowed. To check for a win, we'll use a function that returns true if all characters of the word have been guessed. The check if valid guess function looks complicated due to its size, but it's actually rather simple. It just consists of a bunch of if statements that ensure the guessed letter is a letter of the alphabet, not a symbol, number, space, etc. If it is valid, it'll return true. The check if valid word function is similar, where it ensures there are no numbers, symbols, or spaces in the word. If it's valid, it returns true. For the clear screen function, we check which operating system is being used by the user using the OS module, and then we use the terminal clear command for that operating system. For the compare guess to word function, we take in a letter guess as a parameter and check if it's in the word using the word set variable. If it's not in the word, we increment the wrong guess variable. For the drawing the UI to the terminal portion, we use the clear terminal function, and then we either draw the body parts of the man or the empty spaces for where those would be depending on the number of wrong guesses. This is important to allocate that empty space so the UI doesn't change height depending on the number of wrong guesses. We'll print out the guess parts of the word, the number of wrong guesses, etc. to update the user on the state of the game. To get the user's guess, we utilize an infinite loop that will only break when a valid guess is given as an input. Finally, write the done name for the file, creating a Hangman object and running it. Features to add yourself. Add checks to ensure capitalization doesn't matter. Add a list of words for the game to pull from so the user doesn't have to enter a word.